What if Spider-Man's greatest foes from different universes showed up to crash your week, teamed up, and demanded closure all at once? That's No Way Home in one chaotic sentence. Hi, I'm Emma, and I'm feeling like a total vibe today. Grab your snacks. We are about to spill some multiversal tea. So let's talk. Spider-Man No Way Home dropped in 2021 as part of Marvel's Phase 4. And it is that rare blockbuster that is both fan service and actual story. The premise is simple to say, savage to live through. Peter Parker's identity blows up, so he begs a wizard to fix it. Benedict Cumberbatch, who plays Doctor Strange in the MCU, tries a memory wipe, the spell glitches, and boom, people who know Spider-Man from other realities start slipping in. John Watts, the director behind the Homecoming trilogy, steers the madness. And then you get the kismet moment when Tom Holland, our current MCU Spider-Man, meets Tobey Maguire, the 2000 Spider-Man from Sam Raimi's films, and Andrew Garfield, the 2010 Spider-Man from Mark Webb's movies. Iconic, not up for debate. Personal story time, because honey, I have lived a tiny multiverse. Last year, I woke up to what looked like a normal Tuesday. Coffee, gym, emails. Then, chaos. First, a surprise call that a live event I was moderating moved up 3 hours. Then my building's water shut off. Love that for me. Meanwhile, my group chat exploded because 2 friends broke up, got back together, then broke up again in like an hour. It was Kardashian-level timeline compression. I am sprinting to a studio. My notes will not print. The printer is low-key possessed. The rideshare gets rerouted, and my phone dies right as the client texts new talking points. Epic fail. I felt like Peter trying to grab 5 villains and 1 reality with 2 hands and a lot of hope. The stakes. If I flopped, it was not just my day. It was a client's launch, a crew's overtime, and an audience's time. So I did what Peter does at his best. I triaged. I called my friend Jess, who is basically my Wong. Wong is the Sorcerer Supreme in the MCU, played by Benedict Wong, and he is the calm adult in the room. Jess sent me fresh notes. I handwrote bullets, and I stopped trying to perfect everything at once. The conflict was me clinging to control, the way Peter tries to force the spell to include MJ, Ned, Aunt May, like everyone. The resolution. I embraced the mess, focused on people first, and weirdly, the show went better than planned. Unpredictability is not a bug. It is a remix. When the chaos hits, your values decide your moves. Peter chooses compassion. I chose connection over perfection. Cheesy, but it slayed. Okay, let's move on. Quick basics, Eli 5. The multiverse is just many parallel realities existing at once, like different apps running on the same phone. No Way Home uses that to connect earlier Spider-Man timelines to the MCU. It is not just a nostalgia buffet, it is growth. Andrew Garfield's Peter, who lost Gwen in 2014, finally saves MJ. Zendaya, who plays MJ in the MCU and is Peter's partner in Chaos, gets her own heroic drop. And that catch is a character cleanse for him. Toby arrives like the wise older brother. Chill, minimal flex. And physically stops Tom Holland's Peter from doing something he cannot come back from. That is not a cameo. That is therapy with web fluid. Villains matter too. Willem Dafoe, the Green Goblin from the 2002 Raimi film, rips his mask off early, which lets his face go full nightmare fuel. He becomes the moral wrecking ball, and yes, he kills Aunt May. Marissa Tomei's May in the MCU is the moral GPS who gives Peter the line, "With great power, there must also come great responsibility." The movie puts that axiom at the end of a trilogy rather than the beginning, which is a savage, beautiful choice. Alfred Molina's Doc Ock from Spider-Man 2 gets a redemptive flip after a nanotech tweak. Jamie Foxx, who played Electro in 2014, returns with a glow-up. No more blue, now yellow lightning, a comics nod that looks so much better. And if you blinked, Charlie Cox shows up as Matt Murdock. He's Daredevil from the Netflix series, catches a brick and dips. Chef's kiss little bridge moment. Now, important people behind the camera. John Watts had to juggle 3 Spider-Men, 5 villains, and pandemic protocols, and still land a clean character arc. Not me, but me. He leaned into brutal, close-quarters fights to mature Tom Holland's Peter. Holland himself had to carry grief, rage, and those colossal legacy expectations from Toby and Andrew fans. That is pressure. He nails a darker, more grounded Peter by the end. Broke apartment, sewing his own suit, back to basics. Kevin Feige, the Marvel Studios boss, and Amy Pascal, a longtime Sony and Columbia producer, kept the cross-studio handshake alive. That partnership is why the MCU and Sony's Spider-Man playground could high-five without tripping over rights drama on screen. The result feels seamless, which is wild given the legal gymnastics involved. Let's dissect this for a sec. Big unanswered question. What if Sony and Disney never restored the deal in 2019? Quick receipt check. In 2019, the partnership briefly imploded. Headlines screamed it was over. Tom Holland personally reached out to Bob Iger, who was Disney's CEO, and to Tom Rothman, who runs Sony Pictures. And within weeks, the companies patched it up. Bottom line, if that had not happened, we likely don't get Doctor Strange in this story. We probably don't get the same 3 Spider-Man convergence. And the entire moral arc about choosing to cure villains before sending them to their fates may never land. My take? The MCU integration did not just boost box office. It gave the film emotional stakes that tied into a decade of shared continuity. Without it, No Way Home might have been a fun chase movie. With it, it becomes a cultural memory. Sometimes the capitalism machine does the right thing by accident because the fans are loud. Yes, democracy by meme. Numbers time, because the receipts are shiny. In 2021 and into 2022, No Way Home became the highest-grossing movie of that period, pulling in about $1.9 billion worldwide and breaking a stack of pandemic-era records. It snagged an Oscar nomination for visual effects. No shocker when you are de-aging legends and blending fully CGI tentacles with live action. The secrecy and denials, by the way, were hilarious. Andrew Garfield swore he was not in it. Charlie Cox said the same. The studio literally put people in cloaks on set to dodge leaks. Messy and effective. Culturally, it normalized the multiverse. After this, everyone felt safe inviting their past selves to the party. Even Sony's Spider-Man universe poked in. Tom Hardy, who plays Eddie Brock in Venom, cameoed in the tag, left a symbiote breadcrumb in the MCU, and peaced out. Call and answer energy. Lasting relevance. The movie gave us permission to be sentimental and smart at the same time. Nostalgia is not a no-go if you make it do work. May's death reframed the origin. The 3 Spider-Men turned meme culture into mentorship, and it reset Peter to a street-level hero, which is why 2026's Spider-Man, Brand New Day, the new Holland-era trilogy starter, can breathe. It is not weighed down by Stark tech or fame. It is just a kid in a handmade suit, making rent and saving the block. That is the Spider-Man that lives rent-free in my heart. Low-key timeless, high-key necessary. Okay, pause. Because next time, I want to talk about the future of multiverse movies. Who is knocking at the portal next? What surprises actually move story instead of just spiking the trailer? And where the genre goes when nostalgia runs out. So that's the tea, folks. We'll pick this up next time. Later.